rumor has it, for a supermarket. What Hollywood lacks in security, it makes up for in excitement. For millions, Hollywood is still the place where paupers become kings, where fame is achieved overnight, and where dreams come true. The story of Hollywood really begins when the early movie makers sought out this spacious rural community because it offered months of uninterrupted sunlight. The public was in love with the magic of the movies and with its stars. In time, the magic aura was transferred to the town itself. Hollywood had become an industrial complex for manufacturing dreams. The public found it heady stuff, and tourists started coming in droves. They haven't stopped yet. For some reason, everything touched by the movies acquires a special fascination.
Al Martino's starring there. The next corner here, and to your right, we have the original Brown Derby restaurant. There are 3 of the Brown Derbys in the Los Angeles area, but this is the only one built to the shape of a Brown Derby hat. Also to the right of
the tourist finds that the something called Hollywood is diffused throughout a community of several million called Los Angeles.
Now noticing to the left of the boulevard here, which they recently installed this signboard here showing the growth of population of the state of New York, state of California. The state of California has now bypassed the population of New York State by approximately 500,000. We have, on the average, of better than 1,000 people moving into Southern California every 24 hours.
The motor car and the swelling megalopolis are consuming the space, while smog veils the sun. The population explodes outward along a new and awesome architecture, the freeway. With 1,000 more inhabitants each day, there's no place to go but up. For the nature lover and the individualist, however, a home in the hills is the only way to live, even if it means propping up a house on the edge of a precipice. A long way up, but when you get there, a dream house in glass, reverently open to the sun. Homes with a view of verdant hills and mountainscapes, which, when parched by long drought, periodically burst into flame. Now and then, many a dream turns to ashes. In Hollywood, no home is complete without a swimming pool. Barring a pool, it's nice to have an ocean in your front yard. The Malibu Beach Colony is home to Hollywood's casual sandy set. The bathing beauty was discovered here nearly 50 years ago by Max Sennett, who introduced cheesecake to the movies. The beauties are still here, bolder and more bronze. Now the beach is also reserved for the surfing set. These young athletes, a dedicated group of wave worshippers, can wait patiently for hours for a big curl, the unwinding breaker that means a minute's free ride through the surf. For the hopefuls who have flocked to Hollywood through the years, the studios were citadels to be conquered. Because there were so many who came, hoping to succeed in pictures, the producers hid themselves from the onslaught behind their bars and walls. From the outside, the studios can seem as bleak and uninviting as fortresses. There are those who gain admittance easily, however, to these privileged sanctuaries of picturedom. The castle gates are always open for the VIPs of the world. Khrushchev may have preferred Disneyland, but he comes to 20th Century Fox to mingle with Hollywood's royalty. In 1931, Charlie Chaplin is host to Winston Churchill. George Bernard Shaw visits Marion Davies. In turn, the Queens of England have graciously received the Hollywood elite. And in the best tradition of royal houses, the princess is given to Prince Charming. It's rough when you're out, but when you're in, Hollywood can be a gregarious community. Everyone's on a first-name basis, and familiarity is expected at the first meeting. You may have just met the man, but he calls you darling, and you call him dear. When Hollywood is thought of as a way of life rather than a place on the map, it can be said that Beverly Hills is more Hollywood than Hollywood. This is a stylish, overly motorized community. In Beverly Hills, the pedestrian is seen only by day. At night, someone taking a stroll is so conspicuous, he is apt to be questioned by the omnipresent police patrols, who amply protect residents who live here in stately elegance. In any community where there are so many on the outside wanting in, status considerations can become highly involved, as is the case with this young actor just beginning to make some headway in his career. He notices a fellow actor he has not seen for some time who may now be in. Then again, he may still be out. The other man has the same uncertainty about our friend. The question becomes, who shall cross the street to whom? The only solution is to meet halfway. Neither one has lost any status, and each thinks the other may do him some good, if they live long enough. Most of the talent agencies are located in Beverly Hills. William Morris is the oldest, biggest agency of them all. The good agent is much sought after, but he is not apt to be an overly sentimental sort. he promotes what he can sell, and the young hopeful may get the first realistic appraisal of her talent from a hard-headed, neatly suited young man who will evaluate her potential strictly in terms of the existing market. The eccentric and extravagant image of Hollywood has yielded to this immaculate business-like one. In an era of tremulous sponsors, uncertain audiences, and high production costs, confidence goes best to the conservative, well-dressed executive, not unlike his counterparts in business anywhere. Another one of the indestructibles, Joan Crawford, has changed remarkably little over a 35-year period of movie stardom. In a current suspense film, Straitjacket, made for producer William Castle, her marvelously unperturbed physical beauty and vitality is amply demonstrated. In the film, she spans a 20-year gap in time. In a characterization calling for extreme changes in mood, Crawford remains undeniably Crawford, which is perhaps the first quality of a star. Though a few stars have thus far survived its abuses, time is an enemy to fame. Impermanence has always been an aspect of life in Hollywood. Perhaps it is maturity, or perhaps just age, but as of late, the movie colony is concerning itself with its past and developing a sense of tradition. A new museum will be built on these grounds. It will cost over $14 million and house and preserve the record of Hollywood's exciting years. The most enthusiastic supporters of the museum are the stars themselves. Among them, legends in their own time, like Mary Pickford, Gloria Swanson, and Francis X. Bushman. Hollywood also demonstrates its coming of age in the extent of its charitable activity. In a show business environment, a good cause can best be served by putting on a good show. A group called the Thalians is giving this annual lavish party. Tickets to the affair cost $100 a plate, but the Hollywood elite show up en masse to be counted. In a single evening, over $100,000 is collected to support a clinic for emotionally disturbed children. There is another big traditional charity affair every year in Hollywood. The girls in the chorus are all the wives of Hollywood notables. They are the nucleus of an organization called SHARE, and this is their party. The show is the result of many months of planning and rehearsal, with support from an array of talent that would cost millions if it were not donated. Some of the biggest names in show business play exuberantly to an audience composed of even more of the biggest names in show business. Later, the audience and players alike make a sport of giving by purchasing grab bag gifts at outlandish prices. The $130,000 they collect will aid the retarded child, a proud evening's work. All of Hollywood's players are not stars, but there is an abundance of talent, a reservoir of actors, writers, and directors who are the backbone of the entertainment business. At best, however, television and the movies produce only sporadic work, and creative people must practice their craft. They are the basis of theater groups like this one, called Projects 58. Their object is the enjoyment of challenging material and the improvement of their craft through mutual scrutiny and self-criticism.
Sheffield. Well, I consider the play one of character revelation. If it has a theme, the theme is things are not what they seem. And
things are not what they seem. For many others who came unprepared, the Hollywood dream dissolved into disillusionment. The Hollywood Studio Club has been a buffer against despair for 48 years.
The club's purpose has been the same since it was founded back in 1916, and that is to be a home for girls who are displaced from their own homes because they've been drawn to Hollywood by the bright lights of the entertainment industry. And it's been going on all these years. The purpose has really never changed. The YWCA saw the need for this that long ago, and we think the need is still here. Although there have been many changes in Hollywood, we feel this particular purpose is still our purpose. When I first came here several years ago, it was the starlet system was still prevalent. Almost any very pretty girl who came to town found herself with a contract for a period of time. Maybe it was only 6 months. Possibly it was for 2 or 3 years. Perhaps she never made a movie in that time, but she could say, I'm a starlet, I'm under contract. Those days are gone, and perhaps forever, and I think probably for the good.
It's a matter of persistence, and if you haven't pursued, then you sit around saying, well, they just don't recognize talent. But it really is persistence. If you really want it, you can get it.
I do have faith in myself. I think that some actresses and actors, I think it takes a great deal to withhold and withstand the mass competition that you do have, and to not give up, because it's very easy to give up.
There are 10,000 actors in front of you, and if you look around, there are 10,000 right behind you all the time.
I think you rarely come into this business without expecting a lot of disappointments. I expected more than I've received so far. Roles that you think you just are on the verge of getting, and then turns out they go to someone else. It's naturally very disappointing.
It would be nice if we all could succeed, but maybe those who don't succeed as actresses go on and succeed in something else, in business, or have a happy family, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful profession.
Everybody should do what they're set out for, and that's why I'm here, to see if I'm actually the person that can go through with it. The only way I can find out, you can't be home in a small town and wonder, I'm afraid to open that door, what will I find on the other side? The only way you're going to know is to go there, to see what's on the other side.
Eventually, your lucky day will come. You'll walk in, your timing will be right, they'll be looking for your type. And you'll have it.
They still come, the young aspirants to Hollywood success. One sees them like moths fluttering in the glare of neon light. One sees them again carefully planning their food purchases in an all-night market. One sees them at 3 a.m. hugging the excitement of the late hour. One sees desire take hold in the faces of teenagers as the Hollywood dream replenishes itself. Hollywood is a town in transition, but its change is toward the conservative, the metropolitan. Hollywood promises to become part of another super city, like a lot of super cities in America. But the dream persists that there is still magic here. At night, from a high building or hilltop, when the lights of the city are like beacons down below, the dream persists.
For the Couch Classics, as Alan Alda and Talia Shire star in Kill Me If You Can, next.